Today is January 20th, 2026. Today is apparently National Penguin Awareness Day. I'm not sure what we were doing before we were aware of them, but apparently this is progress. Welcome to This Day in History from, wait, that's random. I'm your host, C.L. Burns. On this day in 1981, 52 American hostages were released from Iran after 444 days in captivity. What makes this strange is that it just wasn't that they were released, it's when they were released. The timing was almost surgical. The hostages weren't freed earlier that morning. They weren't freed later that afternoon. They were released literally minutes after a new U.S. president finished taking the oath of office. For years, people have debated whether the timing was coincidence, symbolism, or something more deliberate. But regardless of why it happened, the result was unforgettable. The global crisis ended at almost the exact moment political power changed hands. And that leads to an oddly uncomfortable realization. The ceremony didn't end the crisis. The speech didn't end the crisis. The clock did. Because at that very specific minute on January 20th, power in the United States officially transfers, whether one is ready or not. At exactly noon, authority shifts from one president to the next. Not when the applause stops, not when the oath is finished. Noon. It's strange to think that something as abstract as power is governed by a stopwatch. 1 second you're in charge. The next second, you're not. No announcement required, which makes the hostage release feel less like a dramatic ending and more like a reminder that history often moves according to systems, not emotions. And once you start thinking about power as something controlled by time, it raises another question. Why January 20th in the first place? That wasn't always the rule. Originally, U.S. presidents were sworn in on March 4th, but that left a long stretch of time, months. Sometimes where outgoing leaders still held power after elections were decided. So in 1933, the Constitution was amended. The calendar itself was changed to shorten that awkward lame duck period. It's strange when you think about it. Instead of changing politicians, the solution was to change time. January 20th wasn't chosen because it was symbolic. It was chosen because it was efficient. A political problem solved by editing the calendar. And that decision quietly reshaped how modern history unfolds. Global markets adjust. Governments pause. Crises resolve. All because a clock hits noon on a specific date. Which means that on this day, history doesn't really hinge on speeches or personalities. It hinges on minutes. So that's what caught my eye today. Swing by tomorrow and we'll see where it goes. If you want to know more about me or the work I do, you can find everything at waitthat'srandom.com. I'm C.L. Burns, and I appreciate you stopping by.